me hit record. So, welcome to this session. It's been a little bit since, and you said you wanted to look at Samus today, but specifically, like, mid-set adaptations, understanding what the opponent's doing, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, I think that in order for us to, like, adapt mid-set, we have to know what, like, how to distinguish what's going on from what we're expecting to go on. So I guess my main question here would be, what is your understanding of the Samus matchup? Because we need to, like, that's, I think, an important thing for us to be able to, like, speak to a little bit. You know what I mean? So what do you think that, like, what exactly is Fox? What is Fox supposed to be doing, and what would you say that, like, Samus is supposed to be doing, just generally speaking?
I kind of think of Samus's role similar to like Peach's. It's very like kind of methodical neutral, where you're just kind of trying to inch space wherever you can find it, and then find a big opening or reversal on Fox, and then also you just live forever, so you get to play a lot of like really extended neutral interactions.
Okay, makes sense. What are the key moves for her to hit?
F tilt knocks down pretty early. Down smash, obviously. Like up B, Nair's crazy. That move does a lot.
Yep. I would also add down tilt and up tilt. Down tilt
Oh,
and
yeah,
up tilt
yeah,
are also quite good. So, let's see here. So, with that in mind, with you being at 0 here, what would you say are the moves that Samus wants to hit on you more than anything?
I think mostly she wants to hit me with projectiles or like really spaced moves, because I can CC everything. Like, I'm not getting knocked down by like an F tilt or something.
Okay.
So she just kind of wants percent so that F tilt does start knocking down.
Okay. Let's see what happens. So she actually winds up going for a down tilt there, and I think that like that's like something that I'm kind of. So my understanding is that like one of Samus's strengths is actually she's got a lot of things that work at 0. Like her up tilt. Her up tilt is it's like a meteor when it hits grounded opponents. So then that is a way that she can potentially start combos even if you are crouch canceling or ASDIing down. Her down smash also can kind of do the double hit thing that like Peach's, like the multi hit thing that Peach's does.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, her down tilt also pops up or inflicts knockdown at 0. So I think that one thing I'd comment on is like our understanding of the matchup is like seems to be built on things that like Samus isn't necessarily that interested in doing. So like this F tilt, it did knock over, but we were also at like 50, you know?
Yeah,
so, like,
I got the legends, whatever.
Yeah, so like how early is early, I guess, is one thing I'd be curious about. Yeah. So what do you think you're looking for here? Like, what are you trying to hit here?
I'm really not sure, honestly. I know, like, kind of, I was doing a lot of analysis with other people before this tournament on Samus specifically, and a big thing was just, like, staying grounded and, like, not being too eager and neutral, and, like, being willing to play the extended interactions, because, like, a lot of times Samuses will expose themselves, and you can, like, find an opening that way. But I think this, like, run-up F-tilt idea was just not something I was ready for, necessarily.
Well, I think one of the big things I notice here is that like you're going for like this back air wall, right? And like this is the second time at like 0 that the main opening that they've like prioritized is down tilt because of how it pops you up,
right,
or knocks you over at like 0, and then like immediately follows it up with down smash, because this covers 3 to 4 tech options. Like would cover you being here with no tech or tech stand, would also hit you for rolling behind her, behind Samus. So like I think that there's a bit of a disconnect in terms of like what Samus actually does here, because like this is now like that cost you a stock basically.
Right.
Yeah. So what do you think we should be doing about these down tilts instead? Like I think that like we can agree that like it's clear that down tilt is a move that Samus is interested in. Like down tilt and down smash are like pretty important early game tools that Zemi is interested in hitting on you. So what could we do instead?
I mean, I think being grounded is the right idea, and just like trying to beta whiff out of it, because like I think both of the ones they've hit have been out of me jumping, and so yeah, I mean, maybe even just like jumping in place and then like making them think, oh, it's down tilt time, and then I'm not drifting in, so it doesn't hit.
Or shielding after.
Or shielding, yeah.
Because both of those are like pretty punishable from shield.
Right.
Like, was one thing that I'm noticing here is that, like, you know, even on this dash attack, like, if you block this dash attack here after this drill, because I don't know if it, like, maybe they got a true whiff punish, but if they didn't, like, if there was time to shield that, then that's a free kill. Well, not a free kill, but like a free up smash or like wave.
Yeah, they're minus a million.
Yeah. Like, I think that one of the biggest thing I noticed is that, like, it feels like Samus is getting away with being able to do lots of heavy attacks that your shield could be very good against. Because really, for me, the first step of, like, and there's down tilt at 0 again. You see what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I would say that, like, we need a better knowledge base about, like, what in order for us to adapt, because, like, that's another early game down tilt that Samus has gone for. I think that we need to just have a better knowledge base about, like, what Samus's impactful moves are. Everyone talks about forward tilt, but the reality, that was a really good nair into shield, by the way. That's exactly the type of thing I'm talking about. What I would say here is we need a better knowledge base about what Samus is likely to go for, and then from here we can actually, like, understand what we're adapting to. Because it's like, we want to start with, like, what the things that she's most likely to do, and then from there we can kind of, like, play off of, like, what she actually does, because then we can kind of, like, speak to the discrepancies, like, or, like, what are the differences.
Yeah,
But if we don't know what, like, she's supposed to do to begin with, then, like, how do we talk to those, right? That's, I think, what's missing here. Because, like, we got hit by the same basic, like, we basically got hit by the same opener 3 times in a row, and then took, like, massive damage each time. I'd be curious, how would you say that your adaptations were in the later games here?
It's hard to say. I think I tried to refocus on the ground game, because I did notice immediately that I was getting cut out for jumping a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember this FT game too well.
Well, this is it. So we're off to a good. There's that double hit I was telling you about.
Yeah.
So one thing I would say here is the spacing that we're using, that we're keeping here, could be a little bit better. I'm not. So the shine that you go for after this up B, are you trying to get out of, like I'm
trying to laser land.
Okay, gotcha. So
yeah, I'm trying to do, like.
Oh, were you trying to fast fall that?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Because then I can fast fall and I land before her, right? That's the idea, at least. I don't know if that's how that situation works specifically.
I don't think you need to fast fall to land before her. Like, after you get hit by this up B, let's see here. So if you don't fast fall, you're gonna land slightly later than her, but you should still be able to up smash her or up tilt her. Yeah.
Leg.
So that's just missing the wave dash out of shield. That was a free hit. Yeah, her moves have weird shield stun breakpoints because they do so much damage. Like, she uses a lot of 16. Most, like, top tiers don't really have moves that do that much, but yeah, it's like a thing that's a little weird with her sometimes. Yeah, so we're basically falling for a lot of, like, the classic Samus traps, because we're like attacking out of attacking head on in a, like, when we're in a spot where we can't really, like, hit her, but we go for, like, some kind of, like, double jump, like, into back air or, like, up smash or something like that anyway. That's kind of the type of thing that she looks for in general. So I think that I do like that you were playing more grounded here. Like, this was good. That was good. But I think that we're also getting a little too, like, ambitious for these up smashes. So, like, thing I would say here is, like, after these bombs, like, you see where she, like, do you know where she's in action? Like, after this bomb, I think that we just hit her away from the stage, or we, like, up air her.
Yeah, it's like do an air or something.
Yeah. Short up air could also get her. I don't think it kills at that percent, but I might be wrong.
I don't think it kills either, but
yeah,
better than whiffing up smash and nothing.
Yeah, this looks like good cleanup. Oh no, we got hit there. Yikes. Yeah, she's so durable. Samus is a tough matchup for you, right?
I'd say so. It's honest. It's just not one I've put like nearly as much time into as I have like every other matchup. Pretty much, it's like the one I've worried about the least. Just because I've never really had to play one. Like I've never lived in a region that's had Samus players. I've like really had to worry about it all. So like, I've always, if I've ever played one, it's been at a region at a tournament like this, and it's like, oh, I just auto lose, unlucky.
Mm-hmm. Do you have
Like
Samus? Are there Samus players in your region now, or is it like still like? Does it still have that kind of dynamic?
I mean, there's like one in Oregon, but like, I mean, not to be rude, I just don't have to worry about it too much.
Yeah, you're stronger. No.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it.
It's a player thing, way more than the character.
Yeah.
I remember before this tournament specifically, I was playing a lot with some like SoCal Samus jams. That's why my tag is that, and like we were doing a lot of stuff. But like I think what caught me a lot is that he's just really weird. I realized like I played a bunch of other friendlies with Samus at this tournament, and like that guy is just so different than all of them that like a lot of the concrete ideas that I felt like I had just did not apply or worked way differently like actually in motion. Which I think caught me off guard a lot.
Yeah, so like what are some of the things that like Jams does relative to like what Zemi does? Because Zemi I think plays like a pretty like normal Samus.
Yeah. I think the way he lands was like, at least the way Jams lands was way easier for me to deal with. And like I just like was not ready for Samus to just like not land at me with an aerial pretty much. Like I spent a lot of time figuring out how to deal with like falling nair or like falling up or falling down nair or something. But like he didn't really do that ever. He just kind of fell down, and so I didn't really find a punish ever through that.
Okay.
Also, his recovery mix-ups were just different. Like he was not doing grapple nearly as much, and just like way more willing to do really long bomb sequences and find an up B.
Yeah, so I would say that like this is a common situation. Like this needs to fight Samus in general. This needs to be like there needs to be recognition of what's happening here. This is I think like one of the most key situations to know as Fox, because this is like one of the things that she like actively looks for. So what you have here is, what is Samus doing?
Wave dashing back.
Right. So Samus is starting here from this position here, and like is basically moving back here with wave dash. Where do you think Samus finishes? Like around here? Like around this?
Yeah, looks right.
Yeah. So with that in mind, what do you think Fox should, like? So what are the things to be looking out for as Fox here? Like, what do you think realistically Fox should be doing here? We'll make Fox purple.
I mean, I got no thoughts here, honestly. I think holding center is fine because I have a stock lead. Like, I can just go back to center and then chill.
Okay, so how would you go about doing this? You just full hopped here, so you went from like.
I can just drift back. Maybe do a landing aerial if I see them approach, like a falling drill or something. That's like fine.
Yeah, so maybe we go here.
Yeah.
Cool. So we went from here to here. This makes sense. And then one of the things I'd say is that we don't really necessarily want to throw out an attack here, because of how big Samus's moves are.
Right.
Samus is actually fairly capable of hitting us here, just generally speaking. Like, how far do you think Samus's down smash goes, do you think?
Like from where she is now or from where she will be after the wave dash?
From where she will be. Right about here. Maybe.
Yeah, that feels right. That's probably what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if this is where her down smash hits from like from this spot, then like think about what's gonna happen if you come down straight down. This is kind of this is the problem with what's going on here. So a lot of times you're coming straight down here to try to like hold this position or protect yourself. But like, if you don't drift away, or if you drift away while doing an attack, like back air, you're kind of like extending your hurt box a little bit this way, which allows her to like kind of hit you. You see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And like, if we take a look at what happens in the match, this is sort of what happened. Like, this is kind of what happens, because we like drift into her, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah.
So like knowing where her like knowing where the end of her effective range is, like, which I would actually say is a little bit further back than what we thought. Like it's probably more a little shifted this way. Like this is where she actually probably gets us. But knowing this is an important spot to be aware of.
Yeah, for sure.
Because this is where her this is where her down tilt is. This is where her down smash is. Like this is where like a lot of her key moves are. So we have to be willing to avoid this. She can also do stuff like put out her up tilt like up here. Like her up tilt also hits here, kind of like swings down like this, kind of because it's got similar range. So we don't want to like give her these basically. So it's really imperative that we like drift outside of her zone. So if we mapped this out, how can we recognize that this is kind of what's going on? Like Samus was here, Samus moves here. We were, I guess, this is kind of like where we are at this time. How do we know that this is where, like, how do we know where we want to go, I guess? Or how do we like determine, like, what are some indicators we can use to like figure out like that we don't want to go into her here? Because this is roughly where we want to land, like somewhere over here. In place or away from her like key hits. Yeah.
What? I'm kind of confused. What do you mean indicators? Like,
so what is on the screen that tells us that we like don't want to like attack her into her here?
The Samus being in wave dash, I guess, or like Samus crouching.
Yeah, I would say that for sure. So like Samus retreating. That would be something that's important that we could use. Can we hit her directly?
Probably not.
Yeah, so
not with this jump.
Yeah, so Samus too far. What else could we say? Samus is too far for hit. No, and too far to hit. What else could we go with? We'd also say that like, does it make sense to maybe attack her with like spaced back air at 0?
No, doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, so Samus is at 0. Samus at
right,
0.
100%.
Yeah. So what do you like? Realistically, we're ahead too, so it probably makes sense for her to try to hit us too. So if we wanted to engage with her, what's something we could do? Like, let's say we decide that we're gonna drift into this spot, the spot you went to anyway. Like, we're gonna go from here into here. How could we land here?
I could empty land and then like shield or something.
Yeah, I love that. I think that makes a ton of sense. So like, let's say, yeah. Let's say empty land. Fox is at a combo percent, isn't he? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, so Fox at combo percent. So this could be another argument to like, you know, but like more or less, this is what's telling us that we want to do something like shield here, or just land outside here.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Or land outside. Because these are really the two options that I think that make any sense. You could even, like, these are the two options I think that, like, make any sense at all. Either landing here or landing here. And they both kind of have their pros and cons. This one's safer. This one has a bit more risk. Is there ever an argument for landing on the platform, do you think?
I think the side plat, not really, because of up tilt, especially on Yoshi's, is scary. Top plat, I mean, it doesn't do anything. Like, it doesn't give me a good position or put them in a bad position, so, like, why do it? Just kind of gives up stage.
But if you land here, let's say you double jump here, right? How does Samus potentially chase you? Who's, like, better in air-to-air, Samus or Fox?
I want to say Samus, but that has to be wrong, right?
Yeah, Fox is way better in air-to-air. You get, like, if Samus chases you up here, like, you're the faster character. You could easily just, like, dash out of the way, like, move here, go down, and then all of a sudden you're in a good spot. You could, like, shield her aerial as it comes up, and, like, up smash out her shield drop back air.
I guess I'm just worried about her, like, taking center and then being under me.
Why? It's Samus.
I guess up B, but that's probably wrong.
I mean, like, it is a problem, but, like, up B, so let's explore up B for a second here. Like, I'm gonna pass this to you, and then, like, we'll find a moment to look at up B together. Because I think that, like, we're, like, overvaluing up B, potentially. Because, like, why do you think up B is a problem?
It just makes me uncomfortable. I don't really know. I don't like that it puts me in knockdown if I mess up the execution. I think especially here, I just like was not finding the wiggle out or the laser land ever, and so I was just like getting knocked down and then not happy, like this whole set.
Okay. You're like always like going slightly too like slightly like not quite far enough to hit her in the air when she turns herself into a ball. Oh lord. That was good by Zemi. The good conversion. But yeah, like so here's what I'm thinking. So that was good. See how you see how you chased her a little bit further? Like that's kind of
Yeah.
Cuz she's really she's really buoyant. So let's talk about being in this like above her position. So you come down here, you get this hit. You come down with this drill. Her body is like weird in general. Like there's her body is weird in general because of like how skinny she is. She gets out of the way of a lot of like drills. I would actually say that like something you might want to think about is doing more nairs. And I know that sounds weird because like nair CCable, but remember her down smash hits on 6. So if you nair into like shield in a lot of these positions, like if you do like late nair into shield, a lot of times, or like fast falling nair into shield, a lot of times you can block before her down smash comes out, which is like perfectly fine. Back air, like late back air into shield also works in a lot of spots.
I think the attack into shield is not something I had considered because in my mind I hit a move, I want to hit like a follow-up to that move, so just like going into shield is bad, but it makes sense now that you describe it that like that would be very good.
Yeah. And I don't like. I think that we're just overreacting in general to this like a B threat. Like I don't really see realistically a good spot for her to like. I don't see a good spot for Samus 2 at B in a lot of these games. Like here, let me kind of point out what I mean. So she's so in this kind of spot here, with you being let's go back to when you're on the top platform. So I get the impression you think that you have to like leave this platform immediately because you have to chase her or something. But then you come down with like when you're chasing her, you come down with this like drill. But what if you went onto this platform above her? Like just hypothetically. Like let's say Fox goes here and Samus is below you. So realistically, what is the problem with like why do you think that like up B is a problem with you being on this platform?
Well, on the side plat, I'm more worried about up tilt.
Up tilt's really slow. It comes out like very like it takes a while for it to come out. Do you know like up tilt doesn't hit until like 14. Up tilt doesn't hit until like 14.
Yeah.
So like I feel like just by simply with Samus being here and you being here, up tilt I feel is like very easy for us to dash dance around. We could even just short hop above it and then fast fall through the platform and come down and like hit her after.
Right.
So it's just I don't like heck if we light shield on the edges of the platform and get pushed off, like there's nothing bad that ever happens. There's nothing bad that ever happens to us here.
I think full hop rising nair was also something I just didn't like to deal with. I don't know.
Okay. So let's play this out. So let's say that Samus might come up with full hop rising nair. What are some things that we can do about that?
I mean, if I'm light shielding, then she's above me in near leg, and I can do whatever I want after I land.
Yeah, so that's one option. What if we on our end decided to shield here? Like dash inwards and shield like in this kind of spot.
Right.
So
and then I just like tank the nair with my shield, and then I can punish with whatever I want.
Up smash, yeah, like up smash, shield drop back, and then shield drop into double jump, whatever. Yeah, you've got like a lot of options here. So I think that this is one type of play pattern that we might want to consider. The other one that makes some amount of sense is what if we just like leave the platform when she's coming up, right? Like if we just leave through this side at the time that she's coming up with that nair, yeah, like then she's above us, like around this kind of area, like around this kind of spot here. And we can just kind of hit her with whatever we want, right?
Yeah, just kind of using my positioning to bait her into picking options.
Yeah, because like the thing about her is Samus is slow in air. is floaty. So when she goes into the air, like, she's committing, like, for a long time when she goes into this kind of spot. So this is why you moving out, like, this is why you moving through different sections of the map is so strong against her. Because while she commits for, like, a while when she comes up for these kinds of spots, you don't. You get here significantly, like, once you get here, you can act while she's still, like, in lag. That's kind of, like, one of her big weaknesses. That's why they do all this, like, weird stuff on the ground, and they kind of they tend to be kind of stubborn about sticking to the ground.
Right.
Yeah, because they don't actually want to go up here and get caught in one of the positions where they don't have, like, good ways of fighting out of here. Yeah. Like, if we take a look at, like, another, like, would you be open to taking a look at, say, how another, like, Fox player, perhaps?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, like, who's good at the Samus matchup these days?
I don't know. Everybody loses to Morse.
KGH, perhaps?
Valenti, maybe.
These are all old.
I feel like you lost the last time they played, too. I think Samus beats Fox. It's not doable, as it turns out.
Let's not say things we can't take back. I'm sure Mango wins this.
Mango won this set, yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. So let's start here, and we'll kind of just take a stroll. So, I want us to pay attention to the positions that these two play against each other. So again, we have similarities. That down tilt opener at 0, because it's just a very good combo starter. It's probably the most impactful thing he can possibly hit at this percent. I also want to point out that Mango's looking for a lot of shines, and he's also willing to poke with aerials into shield. You see how he's going for that here, right? Right here, the instant that he gets this going, that's just that aerial into shield. So something I also want to point out here about how he does this nair, about how he gets this nair. Did you notice that they use the Sakurai angle here? Because Morse starts, he hits with the weak hit nair, which then, yeah, pushes. I guess that might not have been Sakurai angle, but it looked kind of like there was some stun on it in addition before the auto cancel. Which is kind of which is one of the utilities of weak hit moves versus Samus. Because she crouches so much, you can kind of get the Sakurai angle on your nair and back here on your weak hit nair a lot more than you can versus other characters. There, we just saw it there. We just saw it there as well. Let me go back.
Yeah.
So he gets hit on by this at B, and then he gets it right here.
Right.
Yep. So using the low knockback to his advantage. He's not really looking for as much drill as you might think. Looking for a lot of wave dashes out of shield.
Yeah,
too.
in my mind, this is a drill matchup.
You'd think that, but again, it's actually just. I actually think what Mango's doing is generally more consistent than drilling. He does get hit by that counter hit here, but you can see how difficult he's making it for Morse to know what counterattack timing he's supposed to use, and the fact that he's presenting shield after everything,
you can't get grabbed, so just
yeah, why not, right? And if Morse pushes a button at the wrong time, he's just ready to wave dash out of shield and shine him. And the second that Morse gets caught out of position in the air, look at how he's all over him.
Yeah.
Boom. He looks for a lot of reshines in neutral too. Running shine.
Yeah, and they're always running shine into move way more than running shine into wave shine into grab or something. It's always a running shine nair or running shine up smash or something.
Yeah, and I mean I think he could wave shine into attacks out of a lot of these.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I think the big thing though is just the way he gets the running shine in general is quite good.
Right.
He almost got that, Jesus.
An angle exists. Oh, that's an up tilt.
Yeah, like, but you can see, like, he's taking, like, because he's so much faster than Samus in the air, like, it's actually good for him to go up there and, like, just test him.
Yeah.
Like, he goes up, tests him, procs the bomb jump, and, like, this could have easily been this could have been, like, 10 different things.
Right.
Like, could have been shine on the auto-cancel landing frames into a thing. It could have been, like, an up tilt. It could have been an up smash. Like, all of those are good. Blocking the up B after landing, it's like a little goofy. Like, you don't need it as much as people think, but like it's not a bad play by any means. Yeah, just takes the top platform. Even if Samus gets him, like Samus can't really like travel across the air that effectively. So like once she hits him with the forward smash or like the nair or whatever she winds up doing, he can basically just recover like safely at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like so awkward for like Boris to know like what he's supposed to be doing. It's interesting how little he does the drill too.
I think he's done it like once. It was like from ledge.
He's done a few more times than that, but yeah, it hasn't been like a really critical part of his gameplay at all. This is good by Morse. This is like the Samus combo. Recovering like that slight angle onto the platform is really good.
Yeah, I found going to platforms is really nice.
Mm-hmm. What do you like about it?
Lets me ASDI down. And so even if they like often it mixes up where I'm going to land, and then even if they do get a read, I can like often just be holding down and then like tech and then get a reversal or something.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna assume that Mango loses this one if like Morse if they're playing next game on Pokemon Stadium. I wonder if he loses here. So that was just like a mistake on Mango's side. This was also just like a recovery error. Let's see what happens on Pokemon Stadium. So what would you counterpick against Samus? I guess we saw Yoshi's story in FD. What do you think about Pokemon? Not fan or not a fan?
I mean, I'm kind of whatever on it. I think FD just does what Pokemon does, but better.
Okay.
Platform maybe gives me more stuff to play with, but like I think her not having the platforms hurts her more than me having it helps me.
Interesting. So why do you think platforms are good for her?
I mean, especially with like the up B, it lets her like not have to land on top of you after doing an up B every time. Missile stuff, obviously, especially on this stage.
Mm-hmm. So something I want to point out here is like, look at why do you think Mango lands on that side of Samus?
Because she can't kill him off that side of the last zone.
Okay. So what?
There's much more to it.
Yeah, exactly. And then if she down smashes, then Survival DI just pops him up on the down smash, right? So like, still doesn't have anything. Yeah, that's exactly why he does it. Because I think a common throw versus Samus is trying to like, you try to like outspace her drift in positions where she doesn't have anything, even if you like recover into the obvious spot.
Yeah.
Good up here.
I also think the platforms help her land a lot whenever you are getting a shark situation. When like she doesn't have them, it forces her to choose a very linear recovery.
That's fair.
Oh, I also hate transformations. I mean, I started playing with Slippy, so I'm not like as experienced with them, so it makes me really uncomfortable. So when it has transformations on, I'm like, ugh. I'll still go here when it's like very clearly my best pick, but like when it's like kind of ambiguous, then I'd rather not.
Okay, makes sense. Why do you think he's able to get away with some of these like hits, these like jabs and stuff?
Honestly, no clue. I don't know. I feel like it's. I guess just because he's faster, right? I mean, the jab, but he can do a jab shine, and that is faster than anything Morse does, even out of CC, right?
Hmm. Well, so there's always going to be time to like interrupt the jab into shine. Like that's true. But I think that Morse is actually trying to do something here. I think Morse pushed a button. And I think that this
Yeah.
So I think that Morse is yeah. So Morse is I think Morse pushed a button here and tried to like down smash. Realized that he got interrupted because this is all happening very fast. And then I think
Mhm.
Mango's then just like capitalizing with like with the shine after. Yeah.
Yeah, because you do the jab, and they're like, "Oh, well, I CC'd a jab. I should be able to hit you now." But like, nothing they can do is faster than Shine will be, even with the CC.
Yeah, they have to be anticipating that they're gonna get jabbed, basically.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm not liking about Mango is how he's like trying to put these stocks away. Everything else I'm really liking from him. Because like he's been a little antsy for up smashes, which is like not good for him. But I think that back air form, like the way he gets these back airs is quite good. You'll notice that he just kind of like cleaves through her fair, right?
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah. So like the thing about her fair is that there's a lot of gaps between the hits. The hits kind of come out in like in like they have pretty big intervals between the hitboxes.
Right.
So it's good to just generally challenge her in those spots. And like with where her nair hits on her body, do you think that nair would have stopped that first back air that Mango does?
No way, because it hits way lower.
Yeah, exactly. So like
He's like hitting her head, which is vulnerable.
yeah, so I would say that in general, like a good area to aim for Samus is like is this area of her body.
Yeah.
So like this is a thing that we can like take advantage of more effectively that we can learn from Mango. Like this entire part of Samus's hurt box is like a giant target. Like here, let's highlight this.
I mean, it's like highlighted on her character model.
Yep.
It's her crit. It's her crit spot.
Yep. Aim here. This is where we want to like hit her. Hit. Because it's just like you can see the benefit of it. The other like in this spot he aims below her, which is a little. That's also fine. Like it's like kind of like it's like Samus at Samus's sides that you want to be like worried about, like where her back air is, where her nair is, where her fair is. But like her down air and her up air don't really do a whole lot in general.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess going high there is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he died for it, but like,
I think his guy was bad.
I would have gone to ledge there and died for that. So that's probably a better idea.
Like he's messing up a lot of these, but like yeah, these are clearly openings. It's just that like he's messing up the execution.
Yeah.
So what we're learning is like shielding in a lot of these spots. Like in a lot of the spots where you would be normally trying to like fight your way out with shines, like Mango's just shielding and like moving on with his
Yeah, shield is just so crazy. In my mind, when people talk about how like shield is really good for Samus, I think like, oh, running shield is good. But then I will try to running shield and like it doesn't go well for me. So I'm just like kind of lost. But like just doing moves into shield is really good.
The other thing I want to point out here is like look at how perfect this situation is for like this falling up here, right? Like I think that this is the type of kill that could have really helped you a lot in some of these the high percent situations. Like how are some ways that we know that this is like falling up air? What did like Samus just do? Like what is how do we know that this is right?
Well, Samus is in lag, or is doing a move actively.
Samus whiffed what? No, whiffed what kind of move?
A tilt.
Yeah, whiffed tilt / smash attack.
Yeah, smash attack too.
Yep, slash smash. Attack. Now what else do we have going on for us? What's her percent?
She's at 100 on Stadium.
Mm-hmm. So KO percent.
Yeah.
And where's
also we're all.
Yep. Where's Fox? Where's Fox aligned relative to her?
Yeah, we're already falling on top of her. Like it's been set up.
Yep. Fox already about to descend. We're already at peak of jump.
Yeah.
At peak of jump. Yeah, so, like, this is, like, these are things, and we don't need all of these. Like, we don't necessarily need the KO percent. Like, if she was at 40, this is still probably the best move we can do,
Yeah.
But, like, we have ways of getting back to this play, which is the important part.
I think just, like, taking stock of specific, like, when you're in... I think when I'm in full help like that, I need to be looking at her and then taking note of characteristics like that so I can make better decisions in that way.
Something else I want to point out, like, remember how we were talking about, like, not landing, like, right next to Samus when she's on the ground? So, like, look at, like, how Mango spaces around her, like, wave dash out of shield. And he still throws out the move, which maybe isn't, like, ideal, but, like, see what I mean? And, wow, he missed the L cancel. That's so funny. But what I'm getting at is that, like, it's that same position we were talking about earlier with, like, when Zemi wave dashed underneath the platform, but but just in this time we're in open space. I would honestly say that, like, Mango's getting a lot of his, like, big damage more off of falling up air than he is off, like, actual, like, and his kills more off those things than he is off, like, other things that we would normally associate with, like, being good versus Samus. Like, he's getting a lot of hits just off, like, falling up air to, like, a bunch of stuff, or, like, dodge, like, the forward tilt, fall on top with up air, or, like, he's not actually hitting that many up smashes, but, like, he doesn't have to. Like, one of Samus's, like, things is that, like, because she's so floaty, because her gravity is so low, she dies off the top, like, earlier than you might think that she should. So up air is often just, like, good enough. Is this making the matchup make a little more sense? I know we wanted to talk more about adaptations, but I think we, like, identified that the base needs to be, like, sturdier. So are you finding this to be helpful, or? No,
definitely.
Okay, cool. There we go. Like, this was another sick up air. Like, let's look at this one. So, like, we full jump around her, like, ledge hop fair. So, like, at what point? It's probably here that we know the up air is going to work, right? Or, like, maybe even here?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so, like, let's make a note of that, because this is another spot where we can get big damage, and I think it's really good that Mango's capitalizing on this. So how do we know, like, what are the moves that are good here? I know up air is one of them. Is there anything else that jumps out at you as being good?
Not really. Because you do a drill, she can, like, ASTI and gets to the ledge. You do any other aerial, then, like, at best, it sends her at a weird angle off stage, but, like, up air just gets you everything, I feel like. Like, I feel like that's the money.
I feel like up air is the most consistent line, but hear me out. Like, if we hit her out of the air like so, and with, like, weak nair, we can then jump and shine her. And she has no jump, so then she goes, like, over here. Like, is that ever worth considering, or do we just want the up air's damage?
I think the up air is just it, because even if you do the nair into the shine, like, she still has grapple, she still has bombs, like,
cool.
The jump is not her only resource.
Perfect. I love that. No, that's good. What if she didn't have her grapple, though?
If she didn't have grapple, then nair shine does go crazy for sure.
Perfect. So that should be a factor in us deciding to go for the up air.
Right.
So, like, has grapple, whiffed fair above ledge. Yeah, whiffed fair above ledge. But you see why I'm asking that question, right? Because, like, now we have a reason for going for this over the alternatives, but then also, like, if we know that she doesn't have her grapple, now we have a better thing to go for in the future. And then the other thing here is, like, Fox is already descending. Fox set up for descent. Set up to fall on. To fall. Cool. Yeah, because, like, and then the other thing here would be her percent. Percent. It doesn't, weirdly enough, percent is like the least impactful thing here, which is why it's at the bottom. But like this is a good combo percent. Like we're probably gonna get like another 2 hits after this up air. What would you do? Just like 2 more up airs?
It's probably just up air again. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, up air, bunch of lasers. He gets the shine.
You could maybe do like a bear or something if you want to get crazy, but it's like not worth dealing with. I feel like
we just did 37 damage to Samus. Like this, we're pretty happy. Yeah. Like, I
think we get. This is not a matchup where you go for really insane extensions.
No, definitely not. What do you think of this back air through her? Because I feel like the only thing it's bad against is like her holding shield or up being preemptively for some reason. Like if she wave dashes, if she spot dodges, like we're good. If she jumps, like we're good on like basically everything except for like up B and hold block. Even if she holds block, it's not really that bad. We're probably spaced enough. It's just like immediate up B, but that's really bad.
You're behind her, so even if she does the up B out of the shield, you're like, especially with where Mango was, he was just going to land before her anyways.
True. Yeah.
So it's like 0 risk really, except for the preemptive up B, which if Morse did that, I mean, he deserves to win. That's an insane option to pick.
Yeah, and we kind of see him going for like a similar back air here. So maybe that's something to keep in mind. Maybe like this back air is something that we should actually be making. This kind of style of back air is something we should be keeping an eye out for going forward. Because like he's just getting so much mileage or just like putting Morse in the corner and then just like trying to squash him like a bug.
Yeah.
Like now he knows he has no grapple. Okay. It's fine with this. God, Mango's so good against this character.
He's really good against the mid tiers.
And I love how he keeps him so controlled after blocking that up B. Because I don't think it's good to usually block the up B. Like, I think it's kind of like inconsistent among other things. But like, I feel like doing it in that situation was good because Morse is at a percentage where like, if he does block the up B and he is willing to take that risk, then like he actually does get to just kill Samus. Like if Morse up B's into a more on-stage position, like Morse dies for doing so, so Morse is pushed into having to like go to a more defensive spot with his up B, and then Mango is not able to get the direct kill, but like still gets him into disadvantage. Like it's all the spots Morse wants to go with that up B are not good, so I think blocking it makes a lot of sense there. I think in these on-stage, like with now Morse being at 50, I don't know if I'd really go for it, but. So much back air. Like this back air is so good. It's so simple, but like he's just getting so much mileage out of his stuff.
Yeah.
Does it surprise you how aggressive you can play into her?
Honestly, no. I think I just didn't know how to do it. That's kind of my level 1 melee is wanting to be aggressive into characters, but I think I just didn't get it. But this is definitely helping a lot looking at Mango do it.
Yeah.
So, it makes a lot of sense. Like, he's not doing anything that is confusing to me.
But it's kind of like we just needed more, like, a better way to understand the method.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's what I try to do when I look at top players, like with learners, that's basically what I'm hoping for. Like, are there things about their method that we can extract and apply to our own gameplay?
Right.
You'll notice, like, drill has been his, like, least successful move. Like,
yeah.
which is wild to think about, because it's, like, obviously just drill Samus. Like, drill the crouch cancel character. But it's, like, no, it's, like, actually just not good ROI a lot of the time.
Her hitbox just distorts so much, like, all the time. It's so weird.
You have to almost be doing them deep into her, and I feel like that's really the problem. Like, you have to be doing them so deep that, like, they almost become unsafe versus everything else. I feel like that's the problem. Whereas with back air, back air and nair, you can just kind of like just do them as standard attacks with a little bit of like insulation versus crouch cancel with like how you fade or how late you do them, but like they're just more consistent. I'm surprised he F smashed there. I think that's got to be like just a bad reaction. What do you think of the down smash there?
I mean, it's decent in this spot because he didn't really have time to do anything else because of where he was. But like, she can tech it, and then you're just playing another mix-up. But like, I guess there is nothing else to do here except make her tech it. So, probably the best thing.
What I like about it is that it's easy, and like
Yeah, that's true.
and his legs are invincible during it, right? So like,
Yeah.
Take the hit up front. Are there any other characters where you could see this being like helpful against?
I mean, I don't really want to aerial shield Peach.
But
Maybe Doc.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Marios make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like Luigi, Doc, Mario. Like
Luigi, I'm not really trying to play grounded. Is the only thing.
I don't know if Mango's necessarily playing super grounded in general.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, and I feel like if we're not like aerial to shield is just like the type of thing that we just kind of do because it's good,
Right.
like because it might be good against like what a character's like key counterattacks are, not because it's like something we do every time or anything like that. Like it doesn't have much to do with like the fighting style itself. It just has to do with the opponent's like threats are.
Right.
Like, yeah, his up air he's getting so much mileage out of his up air though. Let us compare. Let's go back to this for a second. I'm curious. So, with what we have seen here, let's like, kind of like rewatch our Yoshi story match and like see what we would do differently. So, like, what are some things that like stand out? What are some move selections that you're going for that you think you might have like changed in light of like what we've seen with Mango? Like, this all looks good. That was actually disgusting.
I'm happy with that stock.
Oh yeah, no, that stock was fire. Everything went our way. Like, so there, I think that's one thing.
Yeah,
like probably
that was a drill that just did not need to be a drill. It didn't even need to be a full hop, really.
What do you think you would have done instead? So we're in this spot. We get into like center stage. We're here.
Like I can just land and then, I mean, if I want to dash away, I can do that, or I can just hit her. Like I could have just straight up shined there.
Mm-hmm.
Like that full hop wasn't really, like I wasn't looking at the screen when I did that full hop. That wasn't a reaction to anything or like an idea at all, really. It was just like, oh, I'm on the ground. I don't want to be on the ground right now, so I'm going to jump.
Yeah, and I think that like what we're seeing from Mango is that there's also like value in just like double jumping to like bait out because these attacks that she does are pretty laggy.
Yeah.
So like double jumping and then like coming in after the fact with like shine, with like empty land shine, with spaced back air. Like there's a lot of things we can do here that are like quite good. Yeah, just like I do like how you shined the projectiles. I think we could have just illusioned for Satan like to the edge at some point on their way down here. Like we're probably actionable about
Yeah, probably.
Here. Well, maybe not actually. Yeah, because we're actionable here. I think we might be slightly too low actually, but that's okay. I would say one useful thing versus Samus, when you see her wave dash back like this, just going straight up and then fast falling can be very, very good.
Yeah.
Because you see how far back she pulls herself, right?
That was something James was telling me to do, actually, is to go straight up.
Makes sense. James is in Duck, or James is in...
Jams.
Oh, Jams. Okay.
SoCal Samus Jams.
Okay, gotcha. I heard James, and I was like, oh, you know Duck? And I was like, oh. But no, that makes more sense.
Out. No.
Let's see here. See, I feel like Mango doesn't really like... I feel like we wouldn't really see much from Mango, like, approaching from, like, this trajectory when Samus is over here. Like, I feel like he'd turn his back and switch to, like, some kind of walling thing. Or, like, establish
also, just falling her onto the platform was bad in the first place. Like, just let her be above me.
Yeah, exactly. Let's make some notes here, because I think that this is a good spot for some takeaways. So what are so like what we're noticing is we don't have to follow her up. Let's see. Let me think here. Uair and dang3r are much better versus her. Better versus Samus than originally thought and originally believed. Uair is a key part of building damage. Full hopping around panic buttons, around not even panic buttons, but like fairs, nairs, F tilts, D tilts, D smashes, etc. is a big thing. It is a big part of how we get damage, how we build damage. Also say that shielding after aerial to absorb big counter hits, UG, D smash, D tilt at low percent is key. Yeah, running shine and shine out of shield in neutral are key parts of damage building. Are key parts of maintaining offense or initiating in neutral. I don't know. So this is what I have so far for takeaways. What would you say stands out in terms of like options and such? In the meantime, I'll play the last game.
I think mostly just like taking stock of situations, like how do I phrase this? Like looking at percent, looking at where she is, like if she's in lag, what she's in lag with, or like where I am, and like just looking at the screen, I guess.
Yeah, so
no better way to phrase it.
So maybe key factors would be, key factors include her percent, what she's in, what she's in lag off of, and where Fox is positioned.
Yeah.
So that all makes sense. What's something that surprised you? I know that like lasers, like I don't think we've really seen much in terms of lasers, and I don't think we've really seen much in terms of like, I feel like up smash has been one of the less successful moves that we've seen from Mango.
Yeah.
Like he got one there, but it was off a shine, so maybe raw up smash doesn't work. Raw up smash is a lot more manageable for her than other setup moves, or other attacks. Because she's almost always like wave dashing around or like crouching or blocking.
Yeah. And then even if she does an air or something, like it very often just like trades unfavorably.
So she's naturally doing blocking, wave dashing, crouching, etc. When would you say up smash works?
You have to like, I mean, like obviously as like out of a shine or something, like in a combo, but also like, yeah, you have to have a really hard read, I feel like, on like her movement and where she's going before it like actually hits right.
Yeah, like even with these ones, I feel like up smash is out for such a small period of time that I feel like it's not something that, like, Samus really does not want to get hit by that move. So I feel like Morse is putting a lot of effort into like making sure that that doesn't happen, and I think that we saw a similar dynamic with Zemi too. So with that in mind, I think that this is another argument. For like the spaced aerials and stuff. Yeah, so like she's naturally doing blocking, wave dashing, crouching, etc. So maybe we could make a note of this is part of why spaced bear and nair work as well as they do.
It's also just slow. Like it's like what, frame 9 when it's first active, like
off dash jump cancel, yeah. Like,
yeah,
because it's like, hits on 7, but then it's active on like, but then 1 for the dash, 1 for the jump cancel.
Yeah, and even I don't know. I feel like the biggest thing has just been using the fact that Fox is very fast and Samus is very slow to like either move around or choose options because of your better frame data. But like up smash kind of gets rid of that advantage frame data wise, just because it's so slow.
Yeah, so Fox outmaneuvers Samus most heavily in air to ground. Like what I mean by that, Samus hangs in the air when she does aerials. When she does aerials or jumps, Fox doesn't. So he's able to outposition her. This is part of why up smash presents issues sometimes, in that it requires Fox to look for very specific positions and wait there.
Yeah.
And wait there for an opening. So he's not like playing into his mobility advantage. So I think that like that's a key thing. I'd also say that blocking in the corner specifically, blocking the up Bs out of shield has looked quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
This looks strong in corner. I think with that we can finish this match, but like I think that's basically time. I've sent you the list, so take a look at it. Is there anything you want to add, or do you think that this is a good starting point for just kind of understanding the robot lady better?
No, I think this definitely helps a lot with Samus.
Awesome. Yeah, because I think that like if you do want to work on mid-set adaptation, what I'd suggest is those who tend to work better with matchups that you're already pretty familiar with. Because, like, yeah, it's really hard when you're, like, kind of going into this, or, like, something that you've got, like, moderate comfort, like, levels of comfort with. Yeah. But I think that for this one, it was important that we establish, like, a better base. Just because, like, yeah, we just don't have, like, we don't understand the character well enough to really evaluate what she's doing or how she's doing things differently. We need to shore up that, like, stronger... Like, we need to have some, like, a more formed idea of what she's doing to begin with, and then we can kind of work on, like, like, figuring out what the deviations are. I remember this stock being very unfortunate for Morse, and I don't remember why, but I'm curious to find out. Let's see here. Alright, what's gonna happen? God, when you take it off like 0.75 and do like at max speed, like in normal speed, Fox looks so much faster.
Really funny. I watch a lot of your lesson VODs, and I'll watch it on like 1.5x, and you will slow the melee down, and so then it kind of normals out to normal melee, and then I'll turn the VOD back to normal speed, and it's like, oh, you're in really slow-mo. This is crazy.
That makes sense. But yeah, like you can see, like the one thing I want to point out here, like look at how all over Morse he is on Morse's way down. Like he goes through that threat, like threatens this, just covers him going to the edge, and like yeah, Morse is dead. Like I think that like the way that he goes under, and like the way that Mango goes under Samus and then like up to like hit her underside, or like goes above Samus to hit her head with his back air, like that's something that's super replicable. Like even
he's not even like interacting with grappler bombs or anything because he's just there already.
Exactly. So I would say, remember, Samus is slow. She's got a lot of options, but if we can get to where those options are relevant ahead of time, or like cover them in advance with positioning, it's much harder for her to change her mind about what she wants to do than it is for us. And that's really how you generate advantage in this matchup. There's a lot of characters that have basically almost any really like incredibly floaty character is going to have a similar dynamic. So this definitely has applicability versus like Peach and stuff too. It's just it's just going to come up in like a slightly different shape, but the challenge is on you to figure out what that looks like. So you'll be okay from here?
Yeah, hopefully I play a Samus at all again soon, but who knows.
Try to find one in Melee. Honestly, I would like look in Melee Online or something and just see if you can find one, because like that's really, because you really want to make sure that you have like something to practice against. So yeah, just look around.
Right. Let's see what I can do.
All right, sounds like a plan. Take care.
You too.